As I was greeting some of the members that were coming in, I learned that some of you are still out of power. We had a number of outages last night, and I can't tell you how much it means to us, the employees here, that you're here tonight. I want you to know that we do have employees that are out working as we speak. Some of them were not able to come down here because of the outages. They will continue to work until we get all the power restored. But I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on at the co-op. We're going to do a little bit different this year. It's going to all be by video. And one of the reasons was because last year after the annual meeting, we got comments from you, and you said that you like that, and the staff doesn't like me talking a real long time. They can control my time better if it's on a video. So we're gonna make a presentation. A lot of the presentation is governed and geared by questions that we get. We got a number of questions from members this year in the RSVP process. All of the questions and the answers have been posted on our website today. So when you get home tonight, you will see every member's question that was asked in the RSVP process, some of which we'll answer tonight. And you will see all of our responses to every one of those questions. And just watch the screen with us. Hi, I'm Mike Drayspring. As President and CEO of CoServ Electric, I have the pleasure of overseeing one of the largest and most reliable electric cooperatives in the country. And through your elected board of directors, you have a voice in how your electric company is managed. This year, 3 directors' districts are up for election, and later in tonight's meeting, you'll hear those results. Shortly after I began work at CoServ, I began encouraging members to send in questions and comments with their RSVPs for this annual event. Tonight, we'll focus on the state of the company via a number of relevant questions received from members over the last 3 weeks. Donald Corwin, a CoServ member from Flower Mound, sent in this question. How does the board determine when to pay out and when to reinvest capital credits? That's a complicated question, Donald. Thank you for asking, especially since the return of capital credits is one of the most tangible member benefits you receive from CoServ. CoServ's annual net margins, or net income, are allocated to each member based on the member's annual purchase of energy and the margins generated by those purchases. Allocation notices are typically generated in September. Each year's margins become the member's equity investment in the cooperative utility. CoServ's capital requirements are funded just like any other business, no matter the size, with debt and equity. CoServ works to pay back a portion of the member's equity as soon as is practical. Retirements typically take place in December and can occur at the discretion of the board when CoServ Electric has met certain financial requirements and other obligations. A good follow-up question here is, how long does it take to pay back allocated capital credits? A retirement cycle is the period of time between the allocation and retirement of the capital credits and can typically be 20 or more years for electric cooperatives. In the most recent cycle, CoServ retired approximately $6 million in 2010 for a total of $31 million distributed back to members since 2003. To specifically respond to Donald's question, many factors determine retirements, including current financial condition, margins and cash flow, anticipated capital requirements, borrowing ability, short and long-term financial forecast, the company's equity levels and equity management policy. All of these factors and more are taken into consideration each year when evaluating retirements. While we're talking about financials, I want to provide an overview of 2010. You can also read more about CoServ's financial soundness in the 2010 annual report, which is posted on our website and will be distributed to all members in the July issue of Texas Co-op Power magazine. In 2010, CoServ continued to grow despite the downed economy. In fact, we surpassed 156,000 electric meters, and CoServ members consumed more than 4 billion kilowatt hours of electricity. To explain the growth in deeper detail, CoServ Electric's total asset value has increased as well, exceeding $740 million in 2010. As you can see, operating revenue increased slightly to $427 million. and the cost of purchased power climbed to more than $311 million. Operating expenses per kilowatt hour decreased by 10%, showing that CoServ is doing a good job managing our controllable operating expenses. CoServ Electric overall had an increase in revenue, as did CoServ Gas. Conversely, Llano Utility Services revenue declined substantially. This was due to a lack of demand for utility construction resulting from the regional decline in residential and commercial construction. Specifically, CoServ Gas experienced continued strong growth with earnings of nearly $7 million in 2010, but Llano lost just over $6 million. I shared with you last year that this organization was in trouble, and this year I regret to say that the situation has become dire. CoServ leadership recently assumed direct operational control, and in 2011 strategic planning, the board required I submit a business plan by July 31st spelling out performance metrics and providing both viable turnaround and exit strategies for Llano. My management team and I are currently assessing Llano's operating market, revenue, and cost details, the remaining employee base, and other factors in developing our plan. We should know in a matter of months whether the entity survives. If you'd like more details, I invite you to stay for the Q&A session after the meeting. What factors do you anticipate will have the biggest effect on meeting demand in the future? Texas is growing at a rate of 1,000 people a day, with much of that growth right here in Frisco and McKinney. As many of us experienced, February's ERCOT-mandated rolling blackouts exposed instability in the state's energy position. Though ERCOT announced in early June that it has nearly 22% more power generating capacity than it forecasts will be needed at peak times this summer, long-term future demand must be addressed. Adequate power plants, both online and on call, are critical, as is a comprehensive strategy to manage the grid and balance demand and generation. Per ERCOT, 2015 demand will require about 7,000 megawatts new generation from a variety of fuel sources, such as natural gas, coal, wind, solar, and more. Despite Japan's disaster, nuclear must be part of the mix. Texas solar generation ranks 9th in the nation for available sun, but falls 16th for generation. Wind generation in Texas increased 30% from 2009 to 2010, but the future requires a mix of all resources. ERCOT projects 2030 demand could increase by more than 20,000 megawatts. If older units are retired, Texas would need to build either 55 nuclear-powered units, 121 coal-fueled units, 545 gas-fired units, or more than 35,400 wind turbines. Realistically, a combination of all these sources are needed. I would also like to share a success story about what CoServ is doing to help area schools in this critical budget deficit time. Recently, Sanger ISD Superintendent Ken Krutzinger began working with CoServ's area manager, Craig Chambers, to partner in energy-saving initiatives. After CoServ's evaluation of their schools, we recommended energy-saving measures such as changing the temperature and time set points for their HVAC systems, enrolling in our time of use program, upgrading the commercial lighting to energy-efficient bulbs, and educating the staff on phantom load. Superintendent Krutzinger shares the details with us.
We knew that we needed to do some things, and so we felt like we needed to contact CoServ. That's where our partnership began. And so I was able to go and meet with Craig Chambers and some of his staff, and we started talking about potential savings that we could have and what we could do at Sanger ISD to reduce our costs. But when you have a district our size, everything that's pulling a kilowatt does add up at the end of the month. And so they've been very good about providing us with educational incentives on how to get into other programs such as retrofits for our lights. And as of the end of April, we have a decrease in our overall gas and electric usage cost of $126,866.
Carol Sanger, a CoServ member from Aubrey, asked the following question: how is the progress of the new metering going? The CoServ EcoGrid is an advanced metering system and foundation for a new distribution technology initiative consisting of a two-way communication network, advanced metering, distribution automation, and personal energy management applications. The project began with a 20,000 meter proof of concept with concentrations in Little Elm, Prosper, and Frisco. Equipment site surveys and data communications equipment installations began in those areas in October 2010, and advanced metering deployment began in March 2011. April through August 2011 serves as communications testing period for the proof of concept, and CoServ plans to begin full system deployment beginning February 2012, with project completion scheduled for April 2013. EcoGrid system benefits include reduced vehicle usage, automated electronic meter reads, enhanced outage detection and response, improved system reliability, reduced electricity theft and associated costs, and tools allowing members to tailor energy usage. The CoServ EcoGrid technology will help us develop and offer programs including new rate plans that pass cost savings to members whose usage is reduced during peak load times. It is ultimately a member's decision to take advantage of the usage information, rate options, tools, and programs available in the future. Learn more about the CoServ EcoGrid on CoServ.com, where you'll find information on meter accuracy and installation processes, cybersecurity, project timeline, and more. Carol Frazier, a CoServ member from Frisco, asked, "Recently, our neighborhood experienced an outage. Calling the emergency number required the input of account number and/or phone number. In a true emergency, why is the line not answered by a person? During some large outages, it is not unusual for literally thousands of members to call at virtually the same time. CoServ's phones are answered 24/7, 365 days a year. A customer service team mans the lines Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, and our dispatch center is staffed at all times. If you call us after hours, our outage management system, OMS, allows members to report outages through an automated system, a convenience for those who prefer to provide their account or premise data to us quickly. It's important that we have your current telephone number, and you can update this information by establishing a CoServ online account or by phone. This is especially helpful when experiencing outages that impact many members. Otherwise, most callers are waiting to talk to a live person. Our members tell us they want to report their outage and trust us to restore power or resolve the issue as soon as possible. In a true emergency, the member has the option to transfer out of the OMS and reach a dispatcher in person by pressing 1, and this option is offered before any other option is mentioned. If the situation is a life-threatening emergency, the member should naturally call 911. The good news is, with our new advanced metering and communication system fully deployed in the CoServ EcoGrid project, outage detection will be largely automated. Learn more on CoServ.com. DFW newspapers reported there could be electricity cost increases for consumers after the ERCOT rolling blackouts in February, and members contacted CoServ asking if our rates were going up as a result. Some North Texas consumers did pay higher electric bills due to the market swings that occurred during February's severe weather event and the subsequent rotating power outages. CoServ's cooperatively owned power supplier, Brazos Electric Cooperative, a not-for-profit generation and transmission organization, experienced some extremely high power costs during the rolling blackouts for replacement power, but we do not expect those higher costs to affect our members' electric bills significantly. Brazos' management team is adapting quickly to a new bulk power market that started with Nodal going live in the ERCOT region in December and is working hard to reduce our exposure to volatile, unpredictable prices in the Texas wholesale markets. One competitive retail electric provider has already gone belly up because of the higher electric prices during and immediately after the rotating outages, and more could follow. These are just a few of the reasons your member-elected board of directors continues monitoring, evaluating, and cautiously preparing for the possibility of opting into competition. During February's severe weather events, CoServ used our website, Facebook, and Twitter to communicate with members about outages. Many of the comments sang the praises of our field employees and the hardiness of our system. I'd like to explain in more detail why CoServ's members experienced little disruption during that severe weather event. Other big differences in the way CoServ handled the weather events fall in the areas of system stability and communications. Though many CoServ members were indeed inconvenienced by ERCOT-mandated rotating outages and a few other disruptions on February 2nd, the CoServ system held up remarkably well, given the freezing temperatures for days on end. Our operations crews responded promptly to the small number of weather-related outages that fell outside of the parameters required for grid stability. And for the first time, we used Facebook and Twitter as a means of communicating our operational status to those who had lost power to their home or business, but were able to use their smartphones. If you haven't already, I encourage you to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, establish a CoServ online account, and save our homepage to your favorites. Using these tools, you'll have easy access to the most up-to-date information available should another energy crisis strike North Texas. Another hot topic pertains to the Environmental Protection Agency aggressively engaged in preventing power plant emissions. The result of future regulation will ultimately affect members' rates. In January 2010, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that the EPA has the right to regulate carbon under the Clean Air Act of 1970. Since then, the EPA has postured aggressively to pursue regulation of CO2, a greenhouse gas. CEO of the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association, Glenn English, said, "Electric co-ops should be concerned about the cost of massive regulations issued by the EPA that are designed to control airborne emissions of mercury and other pollutants." As you can see, the increased regulatory standard is only likely to increase the cost of electricity in the near term. Technology plays a critical role today in serving our members, and I fielded a few questions recently about the viability of CoServ's research and development process. As a perk of belonging to the National Rural Electric Cooperative Association, CoServ benefits from the Cooperative Research Network, CRN, a service dedicated to monitoring, evaluating, researching, developing, and applying technologies that help co-ops control costs, increase productivity, and enhance service to members. CRN is currently focusing research in the following areas: utility-scale energy storage technology, multi-pollutant control technology for generation, smart grid, electric system automation, and advanced metering technology, and carbon capture and sequestration. Energy storage technology can be deployed to extend asset life and delay replacement of stressed substations and transformers. Stored energy solutions can help stabilize output from large solar arrays or wind turbines, maintain power quality for a system or key customers, and support power quality through coincident peaks and other high demand periods. Current technologies of interest to CRN are electric thermal storage, advanced batteries, compressed air, and flywheels. Multi-pollutant control, MPC technology, may address current and future environmental issues. MPC technology added to power plants is expected to add at least 5 years to plant operation and at much lower cost than conventional technology, delivering immediate payback. CRN received a $33.9 million grant from the Department of Energy to support a nationwide smart grid demonstration project focusing on affordability, sustainability, and efficiency. Components include smart meter modules, demand response switches, in-home displays and smart thermostats, Zigbee gateways, voltage sensors, fault locators, and meter data management systems. Carbon capture and sequestration is another technology project with deep CRN involvement. CRN has worked with industry experts to provide research and development on strategic issues with technologies and processes including the separation and capture of CO2, compression and potential transport of the CO2 as a liquid, and permanent storage underground, No matter what your stance is on climate change, it becomes pretty clear that developing carbon capture on a global level is required, and we are looking to CRN to lead that change for our industry. Though these subjects may sound somewhat futuristic and advanced, recently, many of you were personally touched by CRN when asked to participate in CoServ's electric vehicle survey. We conducted this survey after realizing these vehicles might vastly change the way energy is consumed in our service area. We've submitted the results to CRN, asking them to help us identify and understand local demand and interest in electric vehicles. I'd also like to respond to a question that comes up on occasion about our business structure and guiding principles. When people not familiar with CoServ ask me how CoServ differs from other energy providers, I tell them it's the cooperative difference and earning the trust of those to whom we provide service. Here are some examples. CoServ actively supports the residents and business owners in our service area by engaging in sponsorships, chamber events, academic outreach, economic development support, and more. We also supported events by bringing in the Touchstone Energy Balloon to the Highland Village Balloon Festival, by sponsoring Denton's North Texas State Fair and Rodeo, by sponsoring the Frisco Rough Riders baseball team, and by sponsoring the new Texas Legends basketball team. These programs bring significant revenue into their communities, and economic development is a cooperative principle. Through CoServ Gas and our relationship with Frisco First Responders, we sponsor an exhibit at Frisco Fire Safety Town. Supporting education is also a way we contribute to the community. We provided scholarships to area students and sponsor students to be a part of the annual youth tour to Washington, D.C. This year, we donated to 16 area public school districts' education foundations to the tune of $200,000, and in a time of budget cuts for schools, those dollars come in handy. Also in support of education and technology, CoServ Electric entered into a unique sponsorship with Liberty Christian School in Argyle to support their Solar Car Challenge. The project is designed to motivate students to be involved in the sciences, engineering, and technology. Let's check out Liberty's Applied Engineering class.
I think this project is important for them because it gives them some hands-on experience. The class is designed to introduce the students to different types of technology careers in engineering, science, math.
This summer we're racing at Texas Motor Speedway. There's 3 different divisions. I think we're in the classic division, and we try to see how far we can go with just solar energy.
On a different note, but still on the subject of helping the community, when wildfires ravaged the electrical system of our neighboring co-op with lines near Possum Kingdom Lake, we sent an operations crew to help them restore service to their members. Crews from many other North Texas co-ops joined with United Cooperative Services to restore power to thousands before the hot summer months hit. Let's listen to United Cooperative Services General Manager Ray Beavers describe the cooperative restoration event.
I'd like to thank my good friend Mike Drayspring, your CEO, for allowing me to say a very special thank you to the organization CoServ for being such a help to United in a time of need. Many of you are aware of, we had a very extensive fire that did a lot of damage in the western part of our great state and led all the way up to our service territory, which encompassed Possum Kingdom Lake. At that time, we saw destruction like I've never seen before. All of a sudden the cavalry came, and a part of the cavalry was CoServ by sending crews to help us rebuild our system. I got to go out and see firsthand quality work done by our CoServ cousins, and I just want to say a special thank you. You should be very proud of the employees you have and the great leadership you have at your organization. I, for one, am very proud to say that CoServ came to our rescue. And for the guys that came and helped us in our restoration efforts, you were amazing. You helped get this job done not in a month, but in less than 2 weeks. In the most deplorable conditions that I've ever seen linemen have to work in. Thank you, guys. And thank you to the membership for allowing them to come and help the other members, your neighbors just to the south. God bless you. And again, thank you very much.
That's a great example of the cooperative difference. We are grateful to be able to help and know that if we ever had a disaster, other co-ops would come to our members' aid. We expect to earn your trust. Whether it's keeping the lights on or your bills low, we must exceed your expectations with the value and service we provide. Rest assured, our entire local friendly organization is here 24/7, 365 days a year, and we know what is expected of us. I'd like to take just a minute to recognize our employees and give you an opportunity to express your gratitude to them. But before you do that, I want to tell you a little bit about the group I get to work with. They are an inspiring group. They love serving you, and they are very devoted to serving you. Whether it was the February event where we had some electric employees helping our gas company go door to door to talk with gas customers that we were risking potentially losing pressure, and we did in Forney and another area of our gas service territory, or gas employees that were staying 24 hours a day to answer and dispatch calls, trouble calls, whether it's the employees that went and helped United Cooperative. And most of those linemen cannot be here tonight because they're out working, and they'll work. We'll have to make some of them go home. I mean, they will stay and continue to serve you. But at United, at Possum Kingdom Lake, one day that it rained, our crew was the only crew that stayed and worked. And nobody asked them to do that. They just did that. That's an example of the type of people I work with. And help me right now thank them for the job they do for you.